let's look at the vocabulary now. Acceptable, meets requirements, good enough. It's okay. Usually we use this in our negotiation by just saying, your price is acceptable. The great thing about this word is it doesn't make it sound like you're super happy. It helps you keep your secret information secret. You just say, acceptable. You can say it with a very neutral face. You don't give any clues about your secret information. Secret. So acceptable is a great word. Of course, the opposite is unacceptable. The same is true for this opposite word. You are just saying you can't do it. There is no clue about the offer being a big miss or a small miss. So acceptable and unacceptable are great words to use in your negotiation. Accommodate. Give something up or give in. Accommodate means to allow the other side to get something they want. Usually, we use this to ask the other side to please accommodate. Or we can ask them to accommodate for something we need. For example, we can say something like, could you please accommodate our shipping requirements? This means help us get the shipping we need. Accommodate doesn't mean that you give me something and I give you something in return. Although it could be the case, it just means that you're asking to get something, or you're giving something. Often, this means that we're going to give you something to cooperate. Alternative, a different choice, another option. Alternative is if you can have A, but you could also have B. Then you can choose this B as an alternative. An alternative is great in your negotiation because you can tell the other side, I do not have to buy from you. I have an alternative. So I can go to another seller and buy from them. That's my alternative. You could also say the opposite. You don't have any alternatives. If I'm a buyer and you're a seller and there are no other buyers, I could tell you I need your price to be lower because there's no other buyers. You have no alternative. Avoid. Stay away from. Do not interact. avoid means to not do something because it's not good. In negotiation, how do we use the word avoid? Usually, you would not use this word in negotiation. Rather, you use this word with your team to prepare your strategy and tactics. For example, I want to avoid negotiating with Group A. Maybe Group A never gives you a good deal. Maybe your negotiation position is not strong. Like your price or quality is not good. There's really nothing you do in such a case. So you may want to avoid negotiation. Or the opposite could be true too. Collaborate, work together. In a way, it's like cooperating, but it's not exactly the same. Cooperate infers that you work together happily, that you really try to integrate. Collaboration only means that we're doing something together. Collaboration means maybe I do something and you do something. Together, we can get our goals in this negotiation. Collaboration can work in many ways in negotiation. Your group can work with other groups in our RPG negotiation. This is collaboration. If you are a buyer and there are other buyers, you may work with those other buyers in order to help your situation get a good outcome. Or you may sacrifice something to help them get a good outcome. And they could be buyers or sellers on either side. So you work with other groups, but you're not negotiating with them directly. Rather, you're collaborating to get something positive. Now, maybe you get something positive now, or maybe you sacrifice now for something positive later. Compete, to work against another team to win. You're working against another company to win. You want to beat them. This concept of competing is the core of negotiation. You're going to be competing. Now, you're competing, of course, against the other team that you're negotiating with. More importantly, you're competing against all the other companies in the marketplace. In our RPG, it is not a real marketplace. It's a make-believe marketplace, an RPG marketplace, but you're still competing. You need to remember this word, compete. Usually we don't use this word in our negotiation. We never say something like, "We are competing with you." That's a little bit too harsh. Rather, you're always saying things like, I would love to collaborate with you. We want to cooperate with you. But with your team, when you're making your plan, when you're talking with your team members, remember, this is all about competition. Compete. You need to compete in order to win. Emphasize. Make a point. Sound important. Point out something that is special. We always want to know what about our deal we can emphasize. For example, we can emphasize something about our product or service. We can also emphasize something about our negotiation. When we consider our negotiation strategy, we will emphasize one strategy out of 4. Most importantly, everyone on our team should emphasize the same thing. List price. The price listed for a product, the retail price. We can use this in our negotiation by coming out and saying, you must give us a price lower than the list price. In other words, I don't want to pay list price if I'm going to buy from you. I want to buy from you. I need a price that's lower than the list price because I'm going to turn around and sell it. So I need to have a margin. A list price is something we often use in our negotiation. Oppose. To be against or work against something. You can use this word openly in your negotiation and just say, we oppose your demand. It's a pretty serious word. It's not a word that you want to use lightly. We oppose really sounds like we're against it. So you want to be careful, but you can use it in your negotiation. We oppose postponing this negotiation. For example, they say, well, let's wait until Monday. But you don't want to wait until Monday. So you say, we oppose a postponement of this negotiation. We would like to finish today. That's how to use oppose. However, it would be hard to oppose everything. Then you would have no negotiation. Normally, in a negotiation, you oppose a single thing. You could say something like, we oppose changing the price, or we oppose the price going any higher. That's possible and very clear. Quote, the exact price that you're going to be offering. It's not the price of the product, it's a quote. Remember, the price can be up or down. So we don't really say price. Rather, we give a quote. Can you give me a quote? Or as a verb, can you quote me a lower price? If you're a buyer, can you give me a lower quote? Strategy, an overall high-level plan, a direction toward a big goal. We've talked about the 4 strategies. A strategy does not have many specifics, but it does have your overall direction and your big goal. First think, what's my goal? Then implement it through strategy. This is the plan. Never tell the other side your strategy. When you use this word, it's only inside your group or inside your company. Your team strategy is your secret. Tactics. The specific actions or behaviors to execute your strategy. Strategy is the big picture, and tactics are the small picture. How do you do it? What's the behavior? How do you execute? What do you say? So your strategy is your big goal. And your tactics are each little behavior or method to implement it. This is for inside your group, talking about your plans.